Okay, so I'll assume you've read the passage already. What potentially relevant information does the passage fail to account for? And all of these are things that the passage doesn't account for, but which one is potentially relevant? That's a good question. So A, the context in which Shaw made his famous quote. Shaw's quote is just an introductory thing to introduce the thing. That's not going to be a factor at all. B, whether there is a legal distinction between pluricentrism and diglossia. It's just a term that linguists use, so whether there's a legal distinction, nobody cares. In pluricentrism, obviously there is a legal aspect because then there's a standard version of the language, but there's not a legal distinction between them, so we can get rid of this. C, how sociolinguistics has evolved as a discipline over time. Really, sociolinguistics and its evolution is not a factor at all in this discussion. So, in fact, it doesn't even get mentioned. So, how it's evolved doesn't really, I don't see how that would be relevant. D, whether there is a causal relationship between diglossia and pluricentrism. So these two things are mentioned, and whether one causes the other, I mean, we have instances where clearly the spread of some of these languages dealt with the spread of people, and so maybe there is a causal relationship. That's possible. And then E, the presence or lack of political criteria in defining pluricentrism. So of the two, which one would be more relevant? This one deals more specifically to the two major topics of the passage, pluricentrism being paragraph 1, diglossia being paragraph 2. So choice D is much more relevant to what's actually discussed.